You know, grass cutter is the best meat, bush meat, for Ghanaians, especially those who are having challenges with health, like diabetes patients and all that.
Hello, good people of Ghana. This is your boy Nanade, and welcome to YEN TV. This is where we give you all the interesting things that you need to watch. Today, we are doing a very special story here with one gentleman who is doing something I see to be unique. Reverend Investor Ejekum. We'll be talking to him shortly, but then what he is doing is he is turned the rooftop of his story building into a farm. And let's go and have the story of Reverend Investor Ejekum. Reverend, how are you doing?
I am fine. And yourself?
I'm good. The name Investor, is that part of your name?
Yeah, it's my first name. Actually, it's not a title, it's my first name. And in my life, that is what I find myself doing. I'm either investing into lives or I'm investing into things.
Okay. Reverend, let's get a bit into background. When we talk of Reverend Investor Ejekum, who is Reverend Investor?
Okay, Reverend is just Investor Jukum is a pastor in Adenta. I pastor a branch of our church. I'm the resident pastor of Bible Hour Ministries International.
Oh, okay.
And I'm the resident pastor in Adenta. Reverend Investor holds a degree in economics and sociology, and he's entrepreneur, a pioneer of many small businesses.
Wow, interesting. Reverend, and a lot of people will say, if you're Reverend, why investing into other businesses just like your name?
Okay, I had a farm on the main Koforidia Road,
Okay.
and that was a maize farm. And one day I went to the farm. Just as you see the maize, it was fully ripe,
Okay.
and I thought I should be the first person to get the first bite of my harvest. Unfortunately, when I went there, these grass cutters have come into my farm, and I've taken a good share of it. So, jokingly, I said to the people I went with that I'll look for these grass cutters and rear them. I will not be moved by what they have done, the damage they have done to my farm, but I'll be encouraged by the distraction and turn it to a positive thing. So I started looking for them to rear them, starting with a research, visiting about 10 to 15 small farmers, grass cutter farmers. And when I visited them, their main concern was their feeding, which normally they cut poison weeds or weeds that have been sprayed with weedicide. And when they when they give it to their grass cutters, they die. One of them said he lost about 50 of them, which to me, it was a big number. But I now then decided to talk to God for an idea. And God gave me an idea, a solution to cutting feed when you don't have enough feed to feed them, and doing impromptu cutting of feed to feed them. Thereby you endanger the lives of your grass cutter. So I came, and this idea, was given to me by the Lord to do farming, to close the gap of cutting poison feed for the grass cutters. So that is how the whole idea came about.
Wow. Okay, so now we are here on top of your building where you stay, and it's been converted into a farm or a mini farm. How did you come about this, and what inspired this whole thing?
Yes, it's about passion. And when you have passion, space is not a limitation. In fact, I was limited by the space, to do this farming, to close in the gap of feeding my grass cutters. I first of all look at Ghana, our land. That is so much rich that if you are short of space or not have affordable land that are good for planting, you could as well transport land soil from somewhere and bring it to wherever you want to do your farm. And that can be used to plant whatever you need to plant. Anything you want to plant. You just have to study the root system of that plant, and you can plant it anywhere you want to. Plant it in containers and in ties. In my case, I resorted to the usage of ties, as in car ties, and then the usage of containers as you can use out there, in planting many glasses. After also studying the glass that they like best, I went to farm to take them, and then I'm planting them here, and I'm domesticating both grass cutters and plants to be able to fulfill my passion.
Wow. So that means you are into crop production and then
Production, yes,
animal
exactly.
production as
Exactly.
well. Now, so we'll get to the grass cutters, how you deal with them and how you are managing them. But then let's look at some of the challenges you have to go through to be able to fulfill this passion of yours by converting your rooftop into a farm. What are some of the challenges you have to go through?
Yes, of course, the challenges are there. The first place was how to get water, to be able to water the plant and to be able to have them grow the way they have to grow. So I have to connect pipe,
Okay.
to the rooftop, and then I have to put in some irrigation, lines to be able to water the plant, as and where when it's needed.
Okay.
So this is what I've done to solve the water problem here.
Okay.
Now the next problem was space to, put the waste. And I thought about the waste and look at it, and I said, no, the waste can also be converted to plantable materials. So now I convert the waste, the droppings of the animal plus the waste feed into ammonia, which I plow back into the soil
Okay.
to boost the soil fertility.
Okay.
So it was a challenge beginning where to put them, but now I'm doing organic fertilizer, which is no more a challenge for me again.
Now, we know grass cutters are supposed to be in the bush. Why did you decide to bring them home, to rear them, have time, how to grow plants, which are maize, and then to feed them?
Okay, very good question, an interesting one, of course. Grass cutter is the best meat, bush meat, for Ghanaians, especially those who are having challenges with health, like diabetes patients and all that. It is fiber. I mean, grass cutter is not full of
Fat.
fat. You see, so it's a healthy meat, and I think the protein content is about 22.7 to 9%, which is far exceeding chicken, the other meats that we are taking. And then also, everybody is doing chicken. Everybody is doing chicken. You have to be different. There are other varieties of, animal product that we have here that we can domesticate and feed on. Okay. And Ghana will be better.
Okay.
Okay. So I think that they don't smell. Unlike, chicken,
Okay,
you have
yes.
to, and then you cannot do in the community. This one, they don't smell. In fact, I started the first one from my room.
Oh,
My home. I
just
didn't have a place. The corridor.
how was it like? Was it comfortable to live with those
It was
animals?
comfortable because they don't smell. So I control the urine. Okay, they don't just,
Be around.
yes, but in a certain container, they are placed on, and I could just remove it. So they were there for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, before finishing the construction of where, I wanted to keep them. And I made the cages myself as well.
Wow.
I
Wow.
do make the cages myself.
Okay.
So,
Let's look at market for those grass cutters that you are rearing. I know with regards to the numbers that you are looking at or the passion for it, you're not doing it just for domestic consumption, but you are doing it for commercial purposes also. How is the market for grass cutter?
the market for this meat is so huge. Now, Ghana is currently producing just about 40% out of the 100% we need from bushmeat. So grass cutter is not a kind of meat where you have to carry it in a pan and be shouting everywhere that you are selling grass cutter. No. Even currently, people are disturbing me to sell some stock. But you see, my focus is that it's not marketing now. My focus is on production.
Okay.
When I produce it, and this is not where the project will be forever. With time, the project will be moved elsewhere,
Okay.
a much bigger area, to be able to have it in large quantities. So for market, it is heavily demanded, and even some people have requested I come to do the cages for them in their house, and then they take it from that point.
Okay.
So it's huge market.
So
Normally, sometimes we are in groups,
okay.
you know,
You the
with
railing.
associations.
Okay.
And so when the order comes, sometimes they ask you how many you can sell. Yes, so if you have some to sell, you sell it to the groups, you sell it through the groups, and that is it.
Wow. So let's look at production wise. Now that you are saying that those that you are even railing, you are not looking at selling them now because you want to expand the production. How many do you have currently, and how many do you want to have before you start selling?
I started with 2, which is a male and a female,
Okay.
and now I have over 40 of them.
How long did it take you?
It has taken me a period of 1 year.
1 year to have 40 of them,
Yes, this is
starting
how.
from the 2.
Starting from the 2, I have to also. I made some of the cages and gave it to some partners who are in the wilds. So when they are able to get life, I also go and then domesticate them. So I started within a year. I have over 40 of them, and my focus is that I want to be able to get them up to. I want to have the biggest grass cutter farm in Ghana to start with, and then before I move to Africa. Now, what I intend to do is to get them to about 2,000 before the marketing will start, because I don't want to lose stock, and I don't want to disappoint my people.
Okay.
So I want to have them to a certain point, certain numbers, and create a lot colonies out of it. 4 female, 1 male makes a colony. Create a lot of colonies so that reproduction continue, and so when you are losing some to the market, it doesn't really affect your production. And I don't want to do something that is short-lived. I want to do something that will be studied in Ghana.
Okay. What are some of the challenges in dealing with the animals itself?
You see, the first challenge I had to face from people, from my research, was that they told me this animal is wild. The teeth is some way. If you make a mistake, they will bite you. Not bite you, they will just chop off your hand. And so that is even just enough to scare you. Yes, but I realized that being with them is a fun, and they are nocturnal. So in the night, you come and they come around you. They pick my scent. They know me. Any sound I make, they understand the master is around.
Oh, wow.
So I feed them. They are more friendly, and some of them I can just, play with them and all that. And keeping them very neat. I don't give them home food like as in bread and all those kind of things. No artificial. I make sure I give them their natural food, and then the best, of course. The ones I don't have, sometimes I have to journey, to a distance and go get it and give it to them. So that's how I keep them. So if you eat or you enjoy any, grass cutter from my farm, this is
Original.
a very good one.
This is the era where the current government is preaching the youth to get involved in farming. They're talking of feeding our own self with regards to our production. What would be your word for the youth out there who are looking to invest into other businesses or venture into any other form of adventure with regards to business? What would you tell them?
Thank you very much for this wonderful question. I think that the government has done what he needs to do. The responsibility of every leader is to come and declare the vision. It's up to us to take whichever part we can play to make the vision a reality.
Yeah.
So I side with the government with the initiative of planting for food and planting for food, agenda. I support it. Now, I think that the youth of this country should stop complaining and they should start doing something. Look, the problem I see here is what I call epistemology. Your system of knowing. You can be brought up to believe in only a white collar job, and that can be your slave master. I think that we need to think outside the box. Look at other things we can do. There are many things that we were doing whilst we were growing up. Today, we are doing something we think they are not needed. Meanwhile, that can put economic value into your pocket. I want to encourage the youth of Ghana that they should look into agriculture. They should become agripreneurs. They should be visionary enough. They should look at other things. They should join me. Look, if you have thousands of us doing this in Ghana here, how do you think the economy will look like? If we have thousands of us, taking off our white collar job, which we cry every morning, every Monday, and we know with that same money we put into buying of foods and acquiring certain things, if we can channel them, how much is a grass cutter to start with? So yes, difficult doing it, but it pays when you devote your time and you have the patience to wait till the harvest is ready. So I want to encourage every youth in Ghana, get on board. If you need knowledge, you can contact some of us. We will help you how to start. There are many things that we have done, but for the purpose of this, we limit ourselves to our grass cutter railing.
Okay, now let's say our government leaders are watching this video, and what sort of help do you need to expand what you are doing?
Okay, this is just a demonstration farm now. Now, I'm looking at it in a big picture where we run into thousands of them. So that's a big one. Okay, looking at in the near future, looking at between 2,000 to about 50,000 grass cattle farm. So everybody who wants to be on board, or if there could be any assistance from any of the agencies of the government, it's welcome. Some of us are trying our best, but the needed push, if we get a needed push from any institution, any, any government organization or the government, or NGOs who are willing to support us fulfill this passion on a large scale, our doors are open. We'll put our expertise, down, and then we collaborate to work with them. I thought of it this way. Before I come to you, you must be able to see my equity in what I'm doing. That makes it more,
Valid
for you to invest in.
Okay.
So whatever I want them to get, the pictorial is what you are seeing. It makes it very easy if you want to invest. This is what I've done. This is what I'm capable of doing. So now we are also developing proposals to see how we can get to some of these interventions to get the business expanding.
Okay, thank you so much, Reverend. So, guys, if you've been watching this is YEN TV, and this is an interesting conversation with Reverend Investor. He's been telling us his passion. What do you have passion about? He says, keep pushing it and keep working towards it. He's been working towards his, and currently he's into grass cutter farming. And trust me, we're going to have a look at the animals and see how interesting they are, just like he said, that they are interesting to be with. My name is Nanade, and we'll get back to you. We are currently at the animal husbandry where grass cutters are kept. So let's talk a bit here. If, let's say, they are ready for market, and you are selling to, let's say, any restaurant or any individual who wants to consume this, how much would he sell for one?
Depending on the size and their age.
Okay.
Yes, it ranges from 100 to 350.
Okay.
Some even as much as 400.
Okay, you made mention of uh, age, as in the number of months.
If months, for instance, if we are selling it to a farmer who is also going to rear it,
Okay,
then between 3 months, 4 months, it's going for 100.
okay,
Okay, and then the ones that are also crossed, you've crossed them, given it to
another farmer.
a male and it's been crossed, means that it's pregnant. That one is different. That one is 150 above, 150, 200 above.
Okay, so let's say a young one like me, I want to start this. How much capital do I need to start this?
What you need, starting it from basic, you need a male and a female.
Okay,
I think that if you have 300 Ghana cedi, you can start.
300 Ghana cedis.
300 Ghana cedi, you can start a male and a female. They can give from experience, depending on sometimes the age of the female. If it's too old, sometimes you can even give birth to one or two.
If it's too old, okay,
That is coming to the end of giving birth. You know, they give, let's say, between 5 to 6 times before they stop birth.
okay, okay,
Okay, so fresh ones, they can give you like 4 birth. Then it increases. You can repeat 4, 6, 5, 8 as the years go by. And then
So-
it declines.
okay. So let's say within a year period, if I have two females, approximately how many reproduction should I expect within a year?
You should expect twice because every 5 months
Okay,
to 6 months, the first will take place. Then you keep the animal with the young ones for that's 5 months. You keep the animal with the young ones between 1 to 2 months, and then you give it for crossing.
okay,
So that's why I'm saying that the year is 12 months. So 5 months, the birth will take place, and then it stay off to take care of the kids, of the young ones, for within 1 to 2, and then the next birth will take place.
okay, okay.
Yes, so that is how it is. And I'm saying from experience, you can have from beginners 4, upward. You can have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can have up to 12. Yeah, all depends on how well you feed the animal.
Okay. Finally, let's look at technically, uh, daily wise, how you take care of this animal.
Yes, you have to keep a clean pen for them. If you see their house very clean, so that you prevent them from infection.
Okay.
The animal have to be healthy, and you also have to be conscious of the fact that it's humans that are going to enjoy the delicacy. So what is good for you in terms of keeping hygiene conditions for yourself, you transfer the same thing to the animal. I feed them 3 times a day. So technically, I feed them one in the morning, and because they are nocturnal and they eat most of the times in the night, around 5 going, I do the second feeding, and in the midnight around 11, 12, I do the last feeding for the day.
At midnight, yes, because I know grass cutters, it's night that they do their massive feeding.
Yes.
And when you have a farm and this animal step into the farm, you understand how it feels like.